I was watching a short documentary. According to YouTube's analytics, 80% of you, 80% of you watching me right now, you're under 35 years old. You're called the millennials, and you're the most depressed generation of young people of all time. The suicide rate has tripled since the 1950s. I think part of that problem is now I grew up, so 80% of you watching me, when I was a kid, well, when I was a teenager, you weren't even born. Now, when I was a teenager, there was no technology, there was no worries, and life was simple. Yeah, we only had four channels on television. We did not hear of the bad stuff in the world, so the 70s felt like total tranquility. The 70s felt like life could go on forever. The 1970s was a beautiful time. Now, of course, I was like any young teenager. I really didn't want to go to school every day. But let's forget about the school for a moment. Life in the 70s, 1970s, was beautiful. The 70s was wonderful. Total tranquility. Total peace. Oh, it was a wonderful time. It really was. And thus, I feel sorry for 80% of you watching me right now because you never got to experience that tranquility. Now, a little fine note I want to make as a legal thing. A little fine note: never give up. Okay, never give up. But back to the regular chat here. I tell you what, some people in life's got it lucky. And so, now, I'm not saying I ain't got my problems. I'm not saying that. But when I grew up in much better times than you are now. The only area you gain in is a technology. Technology's